Hello everyone, I'm Gujjar, a mentor in Team FMG, and today we are glad and elated to have with us Dr. Shiva, who has successfully cleared his FMG examination in the recently conducted Jan 2023 attempt. So now, first of all, we'd like to wholeheartedly congratulate Dr. Shiva on his success, and will like him to introduce yourself. Please go ahead, Dr. Shiva.
Hi, sir. My name is Shiva Subramaniam, and I graduated from NCSHA. We were the first batch to graduate, and basically, I'm the one representative who, I guess, as a form of representation of the university joining FMG. And basically, here I'm from Kerala, and yep, this was my first attempt after my graduation, which was recently done. Yep.
Great. So I feel that's huge that you were the first ones to graduate, and you have been you will be a role model for all your juniors to follow over there. So that's important. Now, first of all, I would like to ask you, what was the reaction once you passed this examination in the family?
So, surprised to say the least. I mean, everybody had the confidence in me, putting up with the hard work and all the things that I've been going through. I mean, as an aspirant, obviously, you would have that once you attempt the examination, and you have that deep, unknown psychological conscience in you that says that, oh, you don't know how it went, or I mean, we're all familiar with that. So,
Right.
I mean, more than me, I mean, the people around me were confident. I was still unsure about it, but gladly it came through. I mean, the hard work put forth actually paid off.
Yeah, it truly paid off. I feel all your efforts for the last 6 to 8 months definitely have paid off, and all your parents also deserve a round of applause for the same as well. Now, I would like to ask you first question. What was your initial strategy when you started? Were you preparing from the UG days itself, or what was your strategy when you came back to India? Hi.
So the connection got cut. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. So I was asking, what was your initial strategy when you came back to India after graduation? How did you
Uh,
start your preparations?
Basically, my aim was to go for AFMG itself, as my friends and some of my senior, who are my friends, who were like people I knew before, and they told me like it's a good place to be, and I think you should join somewhere. And FMG was my choice, and I decided that okay, I should join, and I should attend the classes. I already had subscription to other apps and stuff, but I decided that I'll go for the classes, and that is what I aim for, and to prepare throughout and see how it goes and give it everything I got. But basically, that was the thing. I came directly. I didn't even go home. I came directly to Delhi, and I'm from Kerala, so I told my mom. So the thing is, I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna directly join, and I'll see you once the exam is done or something like that. So that was the strategy, to keep going and to actually put in the effort from, because we know the subject in this field is vast, and we have to put like any sort of effort and any sort of ideology that has been put into our minds as aspirants, foreign graduate aspirants, is basically different. And once you step into Gautam Nagar, it actually changes. And the guidance from all of you all says that you're not different from others, and all those things, apart from not just attending the classes, it's about how the teachers guide you through. I mean, it's much more than just books or knowledge, or drug of choices or whatever it is. It's much more
Right.
onto how a teacher and a professor, especially someone like you, how you guide through those things. Yep. So all sort of plan put together, it did change, and there were a lot of hiccups to it because nothing goes as planned. But yeah, the plan was always to give it everything and just attempt it as it is.
So now, as you have mentioned, most of the students usually when they come to India or during their UG days, they usually have a lot of subscriptions. Like even if they don't study, they have a lot of apps as well on the phone. What
Definitely.
difference did you find? Like if you compare it with the online platforms, without definitely we have nothing against them. But like, why should a student choose offline class? In which conditions shall he be in the online offline classes?
So I think not.
Sorry.
On a personal note, I see myself as a backbencher kind of sorts, and I think of myself as an average student. It's not like I've never been into
Right.
academics. I've always been into sports and other things. But for me, a person who needs guidance throughout on how to assess and how to attempt the subjects on a proper basis, on how you need an experience
Right.
to actually follow through with these sorts of exams. I mean, nobody can be an Eklavya and just be. I mean, some of them might have that. I mean, extra edge to themselves where they can attempt through these platforms. But what an offline class,
True.
especially some an institute like AFMG, especially Vikas sir, especially you, especially any teachers that you bring through, it's not just the classes they give us. It's mostly through the breaks, through the beginning of the sessions, how you tell us like, okay, this is the subject, this is the thing, this is the way you are going to attempt it, this is the outline that you have to follow through, this is the main topics that you have to concentrate on. Every single day when we come to the session, and you all be like, this is the thing, you're going to have this issue in the hall. When you go in there, it's going to be something different. uh,
True.
the psychological aspect on how to attempt it and tell you that, okay, this is your first time, don't worry. You might have challenges compared to people who studied here in India, and all those things, that little things that matter a lot in that exam hall, because it
True.
amplifies into something different. So yes,
Right.
all these factors put together, I think online platforms, as you said, I also am a subscriber to it. Nothing against it, but it doesn't stand. That's a completely different aspect to what
Right.
this platform, as especially as AFMG, gives us. So yep,
Right.
that is
So I
completely different.
feel, yeah.
Mhm.
So I also totally agree with that. That though they are really good, but that's not everyone's cup of tea, I would say, right? So
Exactly.
that's
Yep.
an important, yeah, advice that you have given us. Like, if we need directions, because all of us are working hard, and all your
Yep.
efforts should be directed towards one goal. They should be focused, and for that, you actually need some important guidance. That's
Definitely,
true.
sir. The
That's really true.
armaments. I mean, if you have an armory of weapons with you, which is the subjects that they provide, the topics, the amount of information that you get, that can be, obtained from any source. I mean, I've
Right.
heard it from you also a couple of times that there are tons of sources where you can achieve and you can get a lot of information from. I mean, right now
True.
it is available in each and every platforms. Telegram, you take Instagram, you take teachers, doctors, anything. You can follow a lot of aspects, but to have a certain guidance through people who are constantly focused on you and for you yourself, that is something entirely different. So to have a gun is different, or someone teach you to how to use it to actually
Right.
shoot points is different. Yep.
I feel that's a very important analogy that you have given us. And
Yep.
yeah, that's very true. Now, I'd like to ask you, when you started your preparations, definitely there would have been long hours of classes. Apart from that, how did you manage your schedule? Like, what important advice that you would give that you should usually people should follow when they start their coaching? And apart from that, what amount of what amount of hours you were usually engaged with MCQs?
Sir, I'd say basically the classes that were provided, most of them, it is not about the timings, or it is not based on how it was all day, or some classes were till afternoon, some classes were. I mean, the schedule changes, but with that, if you get what I did is mostly we were advised by every teacher the same thing. That is to go home, revise it once, and even if you can't pull through with it, try MCQs. That was the prominent advice that was given to us, and I followed that basic stuff. I used to follow the apps and stuff for MCQ. FMG app had given me a lot of mocks and other things, and especially the apps that were I was subscribed to had PYQs and
Right.
mock tests and all those things. So at first, it was in the mock test. It was the subject based MCQs that I followed. This was after classes. Mostly, if it was a hectic
True.
schedule, morning to evening, I might not have. I mean, there were a lot of instances where I couldn't revise. But at the same time, when we get back to the institute, we had sat together and we had discussed the topics, and it was always about being in the zone. It was telling yourself that okay,
Right.
this time, this amount of effort that you're going to put in through, you're going to give it your 100%, and you're going to give it uh,
True.
the way you have to follow through with, not just telling yourself that okay, I'm going to sit and listen to the class and that's enough. No, it is to actually refresh the idea, the topics, the things that has been taught, so that it sticks to your head, and the pages of the notes that you've written yourself, and the lectures that the teachers give, that sticks to your head once a question pops in your head, no matter what way it is phrased. Because we cannot expect. I mean, one thing I've understood is that you cannot expect. So, are you there? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So, the one
now,
thing
yeah, yeah. Please go ahead. Complete it.
you cannot expect is what way or how the question is going to come. I mean, you said it a billion times. I mean, yeah, we did listen to it. We did not understand it until we saw it on that screen in the example. Like, okay, I know this, but is this the answer? I mean, after the exam, that was the thing that was going in my head. I mean, oh
Oh,
God, I knew this answer. Did I make a mistake or did I actually mark the correct one? I mean, it's always between the two options that you have to choose. And at that time, only one thing comes to your head. It's the revision that you've put through, the times that you've listened to the class, and then actually you've repeated it. I mean, that's the thing I would ask anyone to follow through.
that's great. I feel that's a very important advice as well. Now, I would like to ask you, as you mentioned about revising also. So now, how many number of revisions did you give to all your content, and like what kind of revisions did you give? Like, was it like a read through or just only glancing? Like, what were the type of revisions? Yeah, please go ahead.
So I once I finished the classes are finished, I actually follow through with the whole notes, and then I do the PYQ. I complete the whole modules of PYQ that is given, and also questions based on it, on the subject, where you can get a bit of
Right.
content from the outside or something like that. Basically, we were told, as we know, the questions right now is mostly from NEET and AIMS papers, etc. So we try to follow questions from that also, from guides, etc. So that was the thing. And revision wise, I did one read through after the whole subject was done. I mean, the whole 19 subjects, because it doesn't. We feel. I mean, this was a constant doubt to you too. I mean, I've approached you in between and asked, sir, I finished my off trial, but right now medicine is going on, and I don't remember anything that I studied so well, and it was on the back of my head. Like I could see it and I could answer it, but now I don't remember anything. What do I do? And you were like, don't worry about it. Finish everything and just go for a read through, quick read through, and you're gonna go through with it, and it works. It's not. It's easy to listen to it and say, okay, I'll do it. No, if you actually follow through with it, just give the time. You don't have anything to do. This is your ultimatum. And if you are following through with this in your mind and saying that, okay, I have to follow through, the result that's different. But if the effort is there, yep, it will pay off. You just have to follow through with each and every words. Your teacher is there that gives you the guidance. That's it. I mean, more than that, I have not done anything else.
Right. Now, I would like to ask you, there were a lot of other sessions also conducted in AFMG. Apart from the main classes that were going on, along with the notes that they have given you, there were a lot of other sessions as well. Maybe TND sessions, maybe image-based sessions, maybe other revision sessions also. So, how important were these sessions for you, and what kind of role did they play in your preparations?
Basically, they were. I don't know. I mean, my Hindi is weak. I'd call them Sasta revision sessions. Actually, we used to discuss it with our friends because we don't have to put in extra effort after going back to pitch through the whole pages of our notes because there were many. So I remember your session for ENT for us was like around 5 days, which is not available anywhere else. Nobody takes 5 days for ENT. And they were like, the notes were also, the content was so much. And I was like, oh, I don't have time to revise this. I think PSM was going on. And I was like, oh God, I haven't revised ENT. What do I do? And the TND session came through. And I was like, crap, I am actually able to follow through with this now. And I did not go through the whole notes, but now the things that I studied, it's coming back to me. I mean, if yeah, it's of utmost important to attend the TND session and to also go for the QRS sessions. Those are pretty high yielding. I mean, they not only like imprint the things you've already studied, even if you haven't had time to revise the whole thing, it's gonna help you bring in that important points and the whole concept. It's not just the points. It's not that everything in the point of what the topic is covered in it, but the single point of a topic actually brings back the whole circumference of topics that was covered around it. So that if you
Right.
have listened to the class before, it will actually come back to it. So yep, that helps a lot.
Right. So now coming to the conclusion of this interview, I would like to ask you, what were the mistakes that you did you wish that all the upcoming FMG aspirants should avoid, and what is an important advice that you will give to them before parting?
Oh, sir. I mean, this might sound very cliche for you. You might know this, but if the exam gets extended, don't lose the flow. Don't take a break. I lost. I mean, I feel really. It's very. I still regret it. In spite of passing, in spite of scoring 172, it's not a bad mark. But I could have scored 200 plus if I didn't waste December. I wasted the whole of December. I zoned out. Don't do that. Once you're in the zone, no matter how tiring it gets, no matter how much breaks you get to take, don't zone out. Don't take a whole 2 weekends off or something. Take a day off maximum, 10 6 hours. That's fine. But once you're refreshed, get back to the flow. Don't get out of the flow. I mean, this grilling that you put yourself through, no matter where you are, it yields result and it yields high yield. I mean, it's a high yielding result. None of us
That's
expected the sort. I mean, nobody can. I mean, this is the first accomplishment that you can earn as a doctor. So I think coming from a foreign graduate, I think this is the thing that you need to go through. I mean, the effort, the point of uh, the attack plan that you have, I'd say, be aggressive, work on yourself and work on the materials that are provided to you. As you say, I mean, as AFMG, as the institute, you guys have done more than enough. The attempts, the amount of efforts, because you guys have put in a hell lot of thanks to Prasan with sir. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm forgetting names. Shivani ma'am. I mean, it's an ecstatic feeling. I don't know all of them, every single faculty. It was Bharat sir on pharma, Azam sir for biochem, every single one. I mean, the materials, the things that are given to you, just follow through with it. Give your. It's like people say it's 70% our effort, 30% the materials. No, I'd say FMG is giving you 50% of all the effort that you need to put in. Just lend your ears in the class, and after that, give your 50% while you just scroll through the pages or the notes or the online platform, whatever you have. But stick to those one particular thing, and that's more than enough. That will get you through for 100%. That's it.
right. That's an important advice that we have given to the upcoming FMG aspirants as well. And stick to one source. That's a very
Yep.
important and a common advice, but usually people tend to get off track from it again. So that's
So back
important.
when just like us, it's a big deal that we're sticking to at least one source.
Right. And the second most important, like I know it was very difficult for all of you to maintain that pace. And even if you were not able to maintain that pace, definitely you have been able to cross that mark. and we are very happy to have you over with us to answer all our queries that usually the FMG aspirants have when they start their preparations. So thank you so much for answering all of them. Thank you so much for taking our time from
Thank you
all the
so much.
celebrations those are going on.
Thank you so much. I mean, it all goes to you guys. I mean, your blessings, your effort, it's everything. I mean, it's a credit for you guys. That's it. I mean, thank you so much.
It was all our pleasure, buddy. And with this, we come to an end. Wishing you all the very best for all the future endeavors that you will undertake. And again, congratulations on the
Thank
behalf of Team FMG. Thank you so much.
thank you so much.